Hi do-it-yourselfers, Bob here. This is my 2006 Cayman S, and what I'm going to do is fix the internal door handle. You see it's kind of floppy. I mean, it still works, but normally it's like that. It's lost its spring inside, so we'll take the door off and get that fixed up. Okay, first we're going to look at some of the tools we're going to use. Driver, a T30 Torx bit, T30 Torx bit, a trim tool, and a Phillips screwdriver. Also look at the parts number. Probably this one's the most important here. 955-555-24300, and they're the clips for the door. I'll show you those when we get to them, but definitely you're going to break some when you open the door or pull it off. The next is this tool, which is, or not tool, this part, which is the actual spring mechanism. 997-555-38103, and then a new and update. They must keep these in stock because it was easy to get in my local dealer. And then last, this is an updated cable assembly that was sent from Germany. 997-537-31903. So that's the tools we're going to need to get this thing going. Okay, first thing, we'll start at the top and work our way down. This thing cover here, pinch the top and use a trim tip to pull up. It's got a little latch on top, so if you try and pry it from the top, it'll snap it. And that gives us access to the first T30 bolt. Take that off. Okay, next bolt. We got to take the handle off, so right at the top of this connection to the handle, just use your Phillips screwdriver. Oh, it's not a Phillips. Hang on. Okay, I thought this was a Phillips, but it's actually a Torx, so pull the handle out and you'll see the Torx right at the end. Just unscrew it. It's a T20. And then the handle just pulls right off. You'll see this little unit here, little cover. Let's just do this. Usually you could just push on it and it'll pop out just like that. And then into the T30. Okay, so this one's kind of tricky because it doesn't look like it's a cutaway or anything, but there's actually two bolts underneath this. So you just got to get under it, pry it towards you. And then give it a good pull, and there it is. That's all you have to do. Now, like I said, there's two bolts, one in the front there. There we go. And then one right in here. There we go. Okay, then the last bolt is at the end of the door here. So just get under and pop this out. There's two connectors, top and bottom. Take out that last bolt. Okay, now it's just brute force to get the door off now. I usually start in the bottom left corner, and I know the first time I did this, it took a ton of effort because that was the first time it ever come off. So you probably will break those little pins that I showed you, but we'll give it a try and see if we can yard this off. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, now that I violently got this off, there's really three connections. Hopefully you can see. The first one is just flick up this tab pull this connector out. It's one. Next one, let's do the door one first because it makes it easier. Just squeeze these two white tabs together. And then there we go, so that's off. And the final one, I don't have a flat blade on me right now, but see if we can do this. There we go. And that's it, the door's off. Okay, got the door card off. Now I'm just showing you the problem here. So this is the problem. The spring's just not kicking anymore. It's moved its position. You can see from the new one here, I've marked it with an N, that it's really hard to open it up. And the other difference, and the one that's taken the most time and going to be the biggest pain in the ass, is you'll notice the connection. So the cable comes over here, locks in here with a white clip, and then feeds into this thing here. Whereas on the new one, the cable comes in and it sits with a round cylinder at the end of the wire inside there between the two. So you can see the two differences between them. I'll show you that when I get the cable out and compare the two. So right now we need a Torx to get this off and swap it in for the new one. Okay, so out with the old. This is a little guide at the top here. So you need a punch or something to get that out. Okay, so if you yard it kind of sideways while tilting it, there it goes. It's hard because this piece goes in through there, and then that's a straight through piece. So out with the old, put this one in, kind of bend it into place. Oh, that went in way easier. There we go. And then just screw her back in. Now I can see adjustments, so I'm not sure. Probably should have marked where the old one was in comparative. Alright, I'm exhausted. This was the bane of my existence. Spent like an hour and a half trying to get it out of the car because this is the cable that goes to the door pull on the inside, but it's been modified. So it's so high up and in there, to get it out is really hard. I had to take the external door handle off. I had to take well, this is the locking mechanism itself to the door. Had to take it off, separate it out, and now what I need to do is get in and remove this cable, and hopefully it's the same. Yeah, it is the same, thank goodness. Okay, so let's see if we can separate this somehow, because this hasn't been taken off for 20 plus years. I'm hoping I can just spread it a little to get it out. Try to pick from the back side. Put your fingers, yes, yes. Okay, now once that's done, turn this. Okay, I should be able to get it right out. There we go. Okay. Now let's put this aside for now. I'm going to clean that before we do anything anymore. I just want to show you the difference in cables here. Okay, so here's the pretty new cable. The big difference is right here. Let's see, can you see that? Yeah, okay, good. So you see how it's kind of got the hook to it? Now it's a new ball that fits in. The other stuff is the same. Tubing's a bit better gasket, and the ends are pretty much the same. Thank goodness. Alright, so now I will reassemble everything in the order I took it apart so that you guys can see that, because it was just too tight to get everything in there and film it at the same time. So be back in a couple. Okay, I just want to show you a couple things before I reassemble. So that's where the cable goes. That's your electrical connection. That's the actual door lock mechanism. But this part right here, this is the one that goes to the door handle. I'll show you that when I reassemble, but how it works is a screw thing. You'd think it screws in, but it goes right in that thing to activate the door handle, and then you squeeze that and pull it up like that, and then to release it, you squeeze that black part at the top and push inward as far as you can go, and that's enough to let that threaded bolt, which looks like it's supposed to screw in, come out, and that's part of the door handle. So I wanted to show you that before I reassembled everything because it's important. Okay, there's the new cable assembled. How it's supposed to work. There we go, back into the car. Okay, first things first, get the door lock in position a little bit. And then there's this stupid mechanism here. It's a cup basically where the door handle goes. It's got the lock goes into a piece of plastic, goes into the door handle mechanism. But you have to, and this is held in by the door itself, but there's a little black arm that I showed you before that needs to come through here. And it's right there. Need longer needle nose. Hang on. Okay, so it's been a couple weeks, or at least 3 weeks, since I started working on this replacement. A couple reasons why. It's been raining here a lot, but mainly it's been the little connection between the door latch and the door lock. Amazing little piece of plastic connected to a piece of metal, and it probably took me 4 hours to try and get those things connected. It's horrific, small space, really hard to get things done. So I got them connected, got the new cable pulled through. This is the new part. If I didn't have to do that, it's probably a 30-minute job altogether. And I didn't show you taking the door apart, but it's just a bunch of screws. Comes off, feed those things through. You have to undo 3 bolts on the window regulator. So I'll show you putting everything back together, and then I can finally button this all up. I'll also show a video on the connections right here, because it's really hard to understand what you need to do to get those two things going. So I'll show you that right now. Here's the door latch itself removed from the door, and you can see where the cable from the handle connects to it. This is the opening for the door handle externally in the cup, and this is the sensor that senses to open the window, and the pivot that connects to the door latch itself with a piece of plastic, and this is the plastic that connects the door handle to the door latch. And this is it from the side, and you can see the black tab. You just push that down and slide it forward like this, and it connects over and above to the door latch handle, I should say, itself. This is it open, and this next picture is when it's slid all the way. The round part connects back to the door latch inside. Okay, so we want to get the window regulator back in, and gotta line up these 3 plastic screw holes, which which is not easy because it just kind of suspends there. So let's put one screw in first. That way it can't back out. Okay, now it's just a matter of lining up the other two. Trying to pull this closer. Bingo. One more. Sorry, the rest of the doors. Just loosely attached so I could make sure I get this in place. Let's get another screw in down here. Okay, and let's try and get in the third. There it is. Got it. And there's a little guide pin right there to get you in. Okay, so now those are in. We have to mount this. Now put the guide pins in. Take these out. That's tight fit. Just don't want it to push back inside again. Okay, perfect. Now, this guy, let's get the screws going first before I try and get the gears in place. Okay, yeah, I like that so far. Second one. Okay, good. And then the final one. Okay, I'm not going to do it all the way. I'll do all the torques around the door, get that sealed up, and then tighten this guy down. Be right back. Okay, got the 9 or 10 T30s here done up, snugged around the door. Make sure you get your grommets pulled through for the wiring and the cable. And then next step is to finish off with this, getting the regulator as close as possible into the splines and in. I just waited till everything was nice and firm because this is plastic. So you kind of have to make sure that the teeth go inside there. Was it getting it right in the motor thing? Okay, so when I get the door hooked up, first thing I'll do before I button up the panel is test the window. Make sure this is still working, and then we'll hook everything up. Be done. Thanks. Okay, got the window motor buttoned up, so nice and tight. All the mounting screws buttoned up as well. So if you have one of these, I don't know what you call them, door things, still in the door itself, just use a pry tool and bring them out. Get it right under there. Just bring it out, and that's why it's always good to stock more of these. If you can't get it out that way, use a drill right in the middle of it, and it'll easily back out. So now that's done, let's get the door skin on and take it from there. Okay, so here's the door card. Not sure, hopefully you can see all this, but there's the 2 electrical connections right there and right there, and then this new cable connection goes right inside there. I need to do this without the camera, I think that would be easier. Okay, slides like that, and then this connection, you just squeeze the 2 white tabs on the end and put it in place. Okay, so got the new pull connector on. The door card is just sitting. Now it's just a matter of going back around and putting in the bolts, tighten them all up, and we'll be right back. Okay, I got the door card just temporarily sitting there. I like to do up these two bolts first and then go around the perimeter to get those kind of rivets into the sides. Just make sure this is up and in. There we go. Now to the other side. Okay, so got all the bolts in. Now it's just a matter of putting the plastic trim back on. Whoops. Just bang that into place. Okay. Now, this little compression piece, I think. Oops. I can't remember if it goes up and in or down and in. That must be the other way around. Nope. Let's try down first. And then up. Bingo. Okay, now the big one. The door handle. She's a lot tighter than she used to be. Okay. Just enough to get the door handle on. Yes. And then the screw. God damn it. Please stand by. Okay. Now screw that in. It's a Torx. What is it? T15, T25, T30, my thing says. I don't think it's a 30. Okay. Huge difference, wow. A little bit of adjustment here. Beautiful. Okay, so now we'll pop this top on. Make sure the wiring's all in there. It's nice and tight to the top. Slide it down. There we go. And, oops, it's not quite in place. There we go. Okay. So that's good. Now the door handle. And the final piece on. Okay. Make sure you get it in the things. I'll clean up the door now, but that's it. We are done. Finally. That took forever. Way too much time. Thanks for changing that cable out, Portia. That really made my life miserable. Anyways, I hope this helps. If you're changing the door on, or the cable, or the spring for the handle, you got to change out the cable, which means disassembling the whole door, doing the latch and the outside handle as well. Hope that helps. Okay, so it's all mounted up. Just one last thing to try. Make sure that the window auto regulates when I pull the handle. That's it. Perfect. Everything works great. Done.